Inside this video topic, we'll discuss a very amazing and interesting concept of WordPress development, and that is after custom plugin activation, how to redirect users to a custom page directly without going anywhere. Yes, friends, I mean that, for example, if you have created a custom plugin and whenever if any users activated into their WordPress application, so automatically after that custom plugin activation, how you redirect users to the settings page of that plugin. This interesting concept I'll discuss inside this complete video. Let's go back to browser, and one more thing before starting this video, please hit the like button to like this very amazing concept. Subscribe to this channel so that I'll be creating so much amazing contents for you. And now it's time to learn this very amazing concept. Now to start this video topic, what I will do, first thing first, I will open this local WordPress setup into my VS Code editor. Let's go back to VS Code. So here I have opened the same setup called Project One, which I have opened into my Chrome browser. So what we'll do, first thing first, we'll create a custom plugin, and in that plugin, I will register some menus like dashboard and settings, and also like after activation, I want to redirect the users directly to the settings page of that plugin. So step by step, we'll go and create this custom plugin. Let's go back to editor. So here I'll go first to this WP content folder, then go to plugins folder, and I'll create our plugin folder, and let's call it as my hyphen plugin. So first thing first, into this plugin folder, let's create plugin main file. So I'll create that. It will be, let's call it as my plugin.php. So to introduce this custom plugin to WordPress application, let's quickly add some PHP comment lines. So here, plugin name, I will say, let's say my plugin description. So this is a WordPress plugin, or this is a custom plugin which redirects users or which redirect users to settings page just after activation. So this concept basically we are learning inside this video. Now here, let's pass version number. So I will say 1.0 and author name myself. And one more thing, as you know that we are creating a WordPress plugin, so this PHP file will not execute if we try to run from anywhere outside of WordPress. So for that, what we'll do, let's if not defined. So inside WordPress, it basically provides a constant called APS path, which means absolute path. If this constant is not available, it means that we don't have any WordPress setup. So in that case, simply exit. Now on plugin activation, I want some menu and submenus will be created. So for that, let's use add action and the action hook name called admin menu. Then we have to pass the callback function where we'll add our menus and submenus. So I will say my plugin, let's say menus. So then after, let's copy this function. So function name, and inside here, first I'll create our menu. So for that, I'll use a WordPress function called add menu page. So here, according to IntelliSense, we have to pass all these arguments like page title. So I will say my plugin, then menu title, I will again say my plugin, then capability admins, which user label can access this plugin. So I will say manage options like at admin label, then after menu slug. So let's call it as my plugin, then callback. So here I will say my plugin underscore callback. After this, also we have two more parameters called icon URL and position. But for the time being, I'm not interested to pass rest of these two parameters. So then after, let's create some submenus. Or if I go with this code, let's go to browser, go inside plugins, installed plugins. Now here, this is my plugin. So this is plugin name. Then here we have plugin description, author name, and the version number. Let's click on activate. So hopefully it will create a plugin menu and that will be known as my plugin. Click here and now we can see my plugin. So if I click into this, it will throw an error and that is the callback function what basically we have passed is not defined. So for that, let's copy, let's say function name, echo, and within h2 tag, let's say dashboard. So if I save these changes, if I go, let's reload, and now we can see dashboard. Now I want that inside this plugin or inside this menu, next we have to create two sub menus called dashboard and settings so that on plugin activation, I will redirect users to our settings page. So let's go back to editor. So to add sub menus here, let's say sub menus, I will again use a WordPress function called add submenu page, and here we have to pass the parent slug like where at which position we want our submenus. So obviously we want our submenus inside this my plugin. So my plugin the slug is my hyphen plugin. So just copy, go here or simply here we have my plugin, copy and paste. Then inside the second argument, page title, so I will say dashboard. It means our first submenu of our custom plugin will be dashboard. So menu title, I will say dashboard. Then capability, let's say manage options. Then menu slug. So I want that whenever if anyone clicks on menu, I want to trigger the first submenu of that plugin. What basically I mean. So to understand this concept, let's go back to browser first. So here, as we can see, plugins, and inside this menu, here we have two pages like two submenus called install plugins and add plugin. So if I click here, and now we can see automatically this first submenu now triggered. Again, inside this appearance, here we have themes or editor. So if I click, and now we can see automatically this themes is now triggered. So this is the default behavior of WordPress. So I want inside this my plugin will have dashboard and settings. So if any user click on my plugin, dashboard will be triggered. Let's go here. Now let's uncomment. So add some menu page. So I want dashboard will be triggered. So just copy this slug like parent slug and pass here. And then after the callback function, so I will say my plugin, let's say dashboard underscore and let's say callback. And what I will do, let's copy, pass here and pass here. And I will say dashboard page. Now the second submenu we want, let's say add submenu page. And it will be first we have to pass the parent slug. So my plugin, then menu title, sorry, page title. So it will be settings. It will be settings, then menu title, done capability, so it will be manage options, then menu slug, so it is different. So I will pass, let's say, my plugin hyphen settings, then callback function. So let's call it as my plugin settings callback. Now let's copy this callback function and here it will be function name, echo, let's say within h2 tag, h2 tag, it will be settings page. Now if I save these changes, let's go here, just reload. Now we can see my plugin. Here we have dashboard and settings. So if I click on it, and now we can see dashboard is now triggered. Click on settings. Now here we have the settings page. Now the first part of this video is now completed that after activation we interested to add a menu and some submenus. Now the main concept of this video that after activation it means just after activation how to auto redirect users to our plugin settings page. So what to do? So first thing first, let's go here. I'll use a WordPress function called register activation hook. And here I will pass the main file like this main file of this plugin as the first argument. So it will be passed by using double underscore file and double underscore, then a callback function. So I will say my plugin register, or let's say activation callback. So this is our step number one to do our task number two. So let's copy this callback function name. So function pass here, and inside this callback function I will add an option inside the WP options table. So here, to add any option inside WP options table, what basically I mean, so if I go back to browser, go inside this WordPress setup database. So inside this database here, we will have a table called WP underscore options. So if we want to add some value inside this table, which is a default table of WordPress, like we have to use a normal function of WordPress called add option, where we have to pass the first value as the option name and second value as the option value. Let's go here. So inside this activation, so our like first task or the first step of this task, that after activation, let's add an option inside WP options table. So here it will be add option. Look at here the IntelliSense. We have to pass the option key name. So I will say, let's say my plugin, let's say flag, or simply let's say activation status, and I will store value called true. Now in this way, basically after activation of plugin, we have added a option called my plugin activation status, and this will be true. So let's do an experiment. So if I go here, if I reload, and if I go back to table, let's go descending. And now we can see we don't have any option added. What basically we done inside code, and this is because this will execute only on on plugin activation. Let's go back to browser. So here, if I go to plugins, installed plugins, first let's deactivate. And if I click on activate, so plugin activated. If I go here, let's reload. And now we can see my plugin activation status. So in this case, what we can do, so to auto redirect users to our settings page, we need to use this flag. So how to use that? So here, plugin auto redirection to settings page. Let's use an action hook called add action, and it will be admin underscore init whenever our admin panel initializes. So here, let's pass callback function. So my plugin, and it will be admin init. Let's add callback as a suffix. So simply I will copy, let's go here, function name. So first I will check that if this constant is available inside our table. So if it is available, then okay, otherwise we'll store a false value in it. So simply let's copy this key, and here if, so to check or get any value of this key from options table, also will have a function called get option. This function is to add option inside your WP options table. Now to get that, we'll have a function called get option. So here, get option. So inside get option, the first argument you can see, we have to pass the option key name. So this is my plugin activation status. Let's pass. And for example, let's say that this flag is not available, or if it is available but has a blank value. So this second argument like says that we need to store a default value in this parameter. So let's say my plugin, we want this value, and the second value will be the default value of this key. So now in this case, what I want to redirect users to our settings page. So here we have a WordPress function called WP save redirect. Now inside this, I'll use a function called admin URL, and inside this, if you remember the settings page URL, if I go here, click on settings. So we can see admin.php page equals to my plugin settings. So just copy up to this admin.php and this query string will have errors. And obviously we are working on that. So just copy and put it here. And one more thing, after redirection, also we have to delete this option from table. Otherwise, this will go on loop. So how to delete that? So to delete any value from options table, we have one more function called delete option. So this get option to get option value from WP options table. So to delete any option, we have delete option. We need to pass only the option key name and just pass this value. This function will be used delete an option from WP options table. Now finally, what basically we did, so on plugin activation, we have added a key into our WP options table. So on plugin initialization, what we did, first we check that if this key exists into our database, okay, then delete that and then successfully, safely redirect to this settings page. And remember, in second case, like whenever, if other plugins will be activated, so in that case, also this code will work. But in that case, this option will no longer available because we have deleted that. So let's do an experiment. So if I go here, let's reload. Now if I go plugins, installed plugins, click on deactivate, and on plugin activation successfully will go on the settings page. This is our expectation. Click on activate, and now we can see successfully we are redirected to our settings page and will not able to get our this value because successfully after redirection, or sorry, before redirection, also we have deleted that. So if we reload, and now we can see we don't have any our activation status, but this is our transient state because here we have added, but before redirection also we have deleted that. And one more thing, friends, before closing this video, let's go back to browser. So as we know that inside WordPress, we don't have only a single option to activate our plugin. Also, we'll have an option of mass plugin activation. What I mean, so as we know that if suppose I want to activate this plugin, here we have activate link. I want to activate this plugin, activate link. But let's say that I want to activate like more than two, more than one plugin. So in that case, just select like plugins, then go into drop down, select on activate and click on apply button. So this action, what basically will do, this action will go check all these, like get all these checked plugins and activate only on a single go. So here I want that this code will only work if the users have clicked on the activate link of this plugin. Let's deactivate first. So I want that what the things we coded for our custom plugin only works if the user will click on this activate link. No code will work whenever the user will select like mass plugins and activate it from this apply button. So what we have to do, just go here, and before going to redirection, let's add a condition. So inside WordPress, if we are doing the mass plugin activation behind the scene, WordPress provides a variable like in get request, and that is if get request and the variable name, let's say activate hyphen multi. Now behind the scene, WordPress provides this. So simply let's get that. If it is set, if it is available, then we are not going to execute anything. But if this is not available, like if it is not set, so in that case, I want the users should redirect to this My Plugin settings page. But let's say that if user is going to activate only a single plugin or mass plugin, no matters, all these code will work. Like on plugin activation, this is going to add an option and also it deletes that option. But this safe redirection or on the plugin settings page, this code will only work if this is not set. Let's go to browser and do an experiment. So if I reload, And for example, let's activate this plugin, and let's go this plugin. So here, three plugins selected. Let's go activate, click on apply, and now we can see plugin activated. But here, there is no redirection. Click on deactivate, click on deactivate, and if I go here, let's click on this activate. Personally, to this my plugin, click on activate, and now we can see plugin activated and successfully. Also, we have redirected. So inside this very interesting concept, now we have like covered a very interesting, that is how to do auto redirection to our own page of plugin just after plugin activation. So for this interesting video, please hit the like button to like this very amazing video. Subscribe to this channel so that I will be creating so much amazing contents for you. And now this time, let's meet to our next amazing video. So for this video session, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.